Good evening and good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the third annual Donate a Bike press conference. We're very excited. We're very excited to do this. Each year, it gets bigger and bigger, and the payback for us is seeing these happy faces of people getting their bicycles. So without further ado, I want to thank you all for joining us to the third annual Donate a Bike distribution event that New York City DOT organizes with NYPD, with the generous partnership of Bike New York, the Staten Island Ferry Hawks, and Northwell Staten Island University Hospital. I'd like to recognize all of our partners gathered here today, including representatives of each of the police borough precincts, which are here today. This year, we received the greatest amount of donations by far, for which Commissioner Rodriguez will speak about. And with that, I'd first like to call upon New York City DOT Commissioner Adonis Rodriguez.
Thank you. Thank you, Roseanne. Can our Vision Zero team please join us here? Everyone. So as they coming to join us, this is the team of men and women at DOT. Come on, the Staten Island team. Come on, join us. Come on. You're the team. Come on. You're the one who works so hard. Like, it's like commissioner is like, as we are, chief and inspectors and commissioner, we only are able to do a good job because we have a great, members of our team who they work so hard. And again, if any members of NYPD also want to join us, it would be nice. I don't have to order the power, but I think that, your person here authorized it for you to be here. It is a great honor to be here, as a commissioner of the larger Department of Transportation that any city has. And in many cases, the New York City Department of Transportation is larger than many state of transportation in the nation. Last year, we have 226 million bike trips in New York City, compared to 98 million that we have in 2009. So definitely they have an increase of more New Yorkers and visitors using bike. Bike is not a luxury. And bike is a human right too. When you bike half an hour every day, you live an average of 6 more years. Again, 6 more years. I know that when you are a teenager, those kids are going to be getting the bike, thinking about, the 6 more years, because when you are, 12, 15, you leave your work as we did the adults, thinking about that you can do whatever you want in your life, because there's not something about urgency. It's about let me live my life. And those of us that have children, grandkids, we know that we as an adult have to go back and see ourselves when we see our teenagers and our kids. So for me, again, as someone that was born and raised in a little countryside in the Caribbean, Dominican Republic, the only mode of transportation was donkey, horses, and bike. And there was only one person that had a car. And when we went to the capital, my family had to make the arrangement to go identify that driver, to go and pick us like at 4 in the morning. So like for 3 years, my family say, we can save some money for you to buy the bike. But when they said the money, my family have other need. And the bike never came. After like years of hoping that sometime they were able to get $30 to buy the bike. So as a commissioner that, is a story of all of us, regardless if we are Italian, Irish, Jewish, Caucasian, Black, Asian, Latino descent. What we are doing today is showing compassion. It's also providing a bike to an underserved child that probably will be the New York City Department of Transportation Commission in the future. Or that child will be the next inspector, that will be the next director of the community engagement for the NYPD. That person will be the new doctor curing us in the future. One of you will be the engineer building these type of malls in the future. So when we invest today providing the bike, it's for someone. It's a family that had to make a decision. Do I buy clothes or food to my family, or do I buy a bike? And yes, sometimes when we became middle class, and middle class live paycheck by paycheck, but we can buy the bike. But at some point, there was a grandfather in our family that came with nothing, and they struggled to provide what we needed. That's what we're doing today. We are remembering those families that came before us, that they had nothing. And because they got support, now they are successful, and they raised all of us. So for me, yes, we're going to be talking about why we are doing the 3-year bike donation initiative led by the best Borough Commissioner, Roseanne. Someone that, even though, the toughest job to be a Borough Commissioner because they have to be pushing projects for DOT, and sometimes they are not popular. But one thing that I can tell about Roseanne, all elected officials, even though sometimes they don't agree with certain things that we may do, but they all respect Roseanne. And they all work her. So another bit of plan for the Borough Commissioner, Roseanne, and the whole team. So by today, we're going to be donating more than 250 bikes. This is a partnership on New York City Department of Transportation, many players, Roseanne will acknowledge them, and also Bike New York. So a big round of applause to Ken Baxiba, Commissioner. He doesn't want to be commissioner now. He used to be part of the administration on the Bloomberg, but now he's a CEO of the largest bike tour in the nation, Bike New York, and the third largest one in the whole globe. There's 3 bike tours, the largest one in South Africa, the largest one, second in Italy, and third in New York City. This is the 3 largest one. Thank you to the men and women that Staten and the ferry, because they had to hop a lot to move those cyclists in those bikes as they end the 5-borough bike tour. So again, this is the 3rd year of the baby that came from Roseanne, her initiative, the bike donating initiative, where residents of Staten Island, they've been invited to donate their bike. Ken, as a Bike New York, they recycle the bike, they freeze the bike, and they work the whole year. Not only to prepare for the larger bike tour, but also they teach children and adults how to bike. They go through the school. When you see a city bike in New York City, the mechanic of those city bikes, many of them, they came from Rikers Island. And it is Ken Baxiba also who work with those individuals who pay for the mistake they make, but can give them a second chance, training them to be a mechanic. So Bike New York, the largest bike in the nation, the 3rd largest one in the globe, the one that teach children how to bike, and adults, the one that work with those that came from Rikers Island to be a mechanic, a great partners, where DOT is a co-producer of the Bike New York. So again, thank you everyone for being here. And for those of you who will be getting the bike, don't think that this is free. You will pay for this by becoming doctor, engineer, architect, teachers, commissioners. So it is an honor for us to be here. Say thank you for being the future professional that will be taking our city further than what we were taking. So para mí es un honor estar aquí a nombre del Departamento de Transportación, del alcalde Eric Adams, decirle gracias a los niños que van a recibir la bicicleta, porque en esta acción lo que estamos diciendo es nosotros queremos proveerle a ustedes algo que le va a permitir moverse de una forma segura. As we provide the bike, we are also building the infrastructure. Under Mayor Adams and myself, we have built the largest network of protected bike lanes in the nation. 86 protected bike lane has been built under this administration, the largest number been built in the same period of time by any mayor in the history. So we only can do this because we are partners. So with that, now I give it back to Roseanne.
Thank you, Commissioner. Always so eloquent. Next, I am very proud to be joined by our NYPD Borough Commander, Melissa Egger. So please, this is your first bike event, so welcome.
Thank you, Roseanne. Thank you. I'm very excited to be here, and so is Team NYPD. But I'm going to try to make this brief because we have a lot of bikes to give away. But thank you, DOT Commissioner Idanis Rodriguez and Staten Island Borough Commissioner Roseanne Caruana for inviting Patrol Borough Staten Island and our Community Affairs team to participate in this incredible effort to provide transportation and recreation to those in need as we enter the summer months. So I'm really proud to stand here with our partners at DOT, Ferry Hawks, Bike New York, Staten Island University, Northwell, Kojo, Project Hospitality, and CSI as we present these bikes to a list of very, very deserving and happy community members. And I'd really like to especially thank Patrol Borough Staten Island's Community Affairs personnel, our team here. Thank you for the incredibly diligent effort they put forth for locating our donation recipients throughout our borough who range in age from 7 to 84. Yeah. So, Community Affairs, we appreciate everything you do every day to strengthen ties with the Staten Island community and also to contribute to a safe Staten Island. And to all our recipients of our bikes today, please, please ride safely. Thank you.
Thank you, Borough Commander. I'd like now to welcome Bike New York President, CEO, Ken Pasiba. His organization, just to say this, I want to make it very clear, they refurbish all of these bikes that we're giving out today to make sure they're in safe working order, and I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for taking this ride with me, Ken.
Thank you, Roseanne. I want to first start out by thanking the Department of Transportation for hosting this event. Commissioner Rodriguez, as you can imagine, is one of the busiest people in New York City, but this is a top priority. Giving bikes to Staten Islanders in need who need bikes is something that he's cared about for the last 3 years, and he keeps saying, let's go bigger and bigger. And Roseanne, boy, she calls me all the time, we need more bikes, Ken. We need more bikes. But the people of DOT, they are so much more than public servants. They have big hearts, and they love Staten Island. So thank you, DOT. And before I forget, a lot of people in New York City do not know how to ride. And some of the recipients of the bikes may not know how to ride. But we offer free bike instruction to tens of thousands of New Yorkers each year. And our next class on Staten Island is at Fort Wadsworth on June 7th. So we encourage people to go to bike.nyc, sign up. If June 7th doesn't work, we have a lot of other classes for adults and kids. And also, every recipient of a bike today who needs bike maintenance, it's expensive, could come to our shop in Clinton Hill, Brooklyn called Recycle a Bicycle, and they'll get free bike maintenance for the life of your bicycle. So take advantage of that. And these are used bikes. It's Staten Islanders giving their neighbors bikes, which is just so wonderful. They're refurbished in a way that we take apart the whole bike, we put it back together, we replace the parts, they're practically new. And it couldn't happen without our mechanics. We have our lead mechanic here named Ben Goodman. Let's give him a big round of applause. Thank you, Ben. And Ben also teaches Bike Path, where the commissioner mentioned we teach formerly incarcerated New Yorkers to become bike mechanics, and they get good paying jobs at City Bike and a chance to join the union. It's a great program we have. We couldn't do it without DOT, so thank you, DOT. And talking about big hearts, I also want to thank the Ferry Hawks for all they do. Thank you, Gary, and thank you, Eric, who's not here. It couldn't happen without you. People drop off their bikes before the games, allows DOT to bring the bikes to us. So thank you, Ferry Hawks. Thank you, NYPD. Thank you, Project Hospitality. And thanks everyone for making this happen. It's a great day, and we're only going to get bigger and better here. We need more Staten Islanders on bikes. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ken. And next, we have to thank our host, the Staten Island Ferry Hawks. I have to say, they have been beyond patient with us. They actually store the bikes for us for many, many weeks. But more importantly, they've opened their stadium to us. They've opened their hearts to us. And for every person that donates a bike, they're giving them 2 tickets to a Ferry Hawks game. So that's very encouraging. And I'm probably going to be blocked by all of these people after this press conference, but actually, no, we've got a great relationship. So without further ado, I want to introduce I know that Eric could not be here, but our VP for Community Engagement, Flynn Ferguson. Finn?
Thank you so much. Thank you, NYC DOT Commissioner Rodriguez, Staten Island Borough Commissioner Caruana, for considering partnering with us from day one. This initiative started 3 years ago, and every year it's just grown. To see over 200 bikes here today is just incredible. Each and every bike was brought to us with a story, and it's through the generosity of the Staten Island community that we are able to build on this initiative each and every year. The Staten Island Ferry Hawks are proud to support this initiative that promotes sustainability and transportation alternatives on Staten Island. And we look forward to partnering again with you next year to make it even bigger and better. Let's go for 300 bikes to give back to the community. Thank you so much.
We have that for you, Ken.
I take the challenge, okay? I take it. Okay? Let's make it happen, okay? That's a goal.
That's a goal. Yes. You heard that, right, Ken? Okay, next I would like to welcome our Associate Executive Director of Hospital Operations, Melissa Panzo. She's with Northwell Staten Island University Hospital, who have been also great partners with us. So without further ado, Melissa.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of Staten Island University Hospital, we thank the DOT and everyone here today for the opportunity to once again be a part of this incredible Donate a Bike event and celebrating National Bike Month. As a hospital, our mission is to care for our community, and that care extends beyond the walls of our medical center. We are proud to support programs like this that promote not only transportation equity, but overall health and well-being. This opportunity is opening doors to fitness, independence, and stronger connection with the world around them. Cycling offers so many benefits. It's a low-impact activity, it strengthens your heart, it boosts your lung function, and it improves joint mobility. It also supports mental health by reducing stress and anxiety. In fact, even moderate cycling just a few times a week has been shown to significantly lower the risk of chronic heart disease. To everyone who donated, volunteered, or helped organize today, thank you for being a part of this movement. This event truly reminds us of the power of community. When hospitals, city agencies, local leaders, volunteers come together, we're creating lasting change. We're building healthier neighborhoods one bike at a time. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Melissa. I know Michelle Molina could not make it from El Centro, so I'm going to call up Reverend Terry Troyer from Project Hospitality, Executive Director. Reverend Troyer?
On behalf of the people of El Centro del Inmigrante, Michelle sends her great thanks. These bikes will be used by very low-wage workers who get jobs wherever they can on Staten Island, who may not be paid minimum wage, and who may not be able to afford the fares of a bus or the train to get to work. These bicycles, handed to workers that are working to bring home food for their families, will get people to their job and return them safely home. For us at Project Hospitality, we will use these bikes for homeless youth. Yes, there are homeless young people on Staten Island, and we serve them 24 hours a day in a drop-in center in Port Richmond. They're 14 to 24 years old. They sleep on somebody else's couch, in somebody else's car, in the back pews of our houses of worship, on basketball courts and open fields and in the parks. They will get a bike to get them to school, to get them to work, to get them to our youth shelter, and someday they will ride their bike to their journey to their own home. Thank you for making that possible.
Thank you, Reverend Troya. I appreciate that. And though the Council on Jewish Organization of Staten Island participated for the first time last year, this is the first year we're joined by President Mendy Moroznik. So, Mendy?
Thank you, Commissioner, and thank you, Commissioner. You know, when the mayor took office and appointed Commissioner Rodriguez, and about a year and a half ago, and almost 2 years ago, I met Commissioner Caruana, they both said their agenda is going to be to change transportation in the city. But I think you have done something more important by bringing Bike New York into the equation, the Ferry Hawks into the equation, and my Reverend Troy, and I bet for a Jewish guy to have a reverend. We're putting people back in the equation. This is empowering people. Last summer, we gave a bike to a child that was finishing high school. His father is a half an orphan. His father isn't here. And this year he's using the bike for his summer job and to attend classes at CSI, which he intends on doing. A bike is an instrument that people can accomplish. I remember taking the ferry to a Prospect Park. That wicked hill took me 11 minutes and 13 seconds to do the entire Prospect Park. So it's more than just health. It's a vision to accomplish. And by putting people back in the equation, having them pedal to the further part of their journey is something which we owe a debt of gratitude. And on a personal note, I apologize for making the commissioner crazy. But this commissioner gets things done. And I thank you for everything. And I thank you. I'm picking on the borough commander and the community affairs officers. When my son bikes home from the JCC at night breaking curfew, thanks to one of these wonderful people, he's safe. Mom will kill him. I can't protect him from that. But you got him home on the street, so thank you, Borough Commander. God bless you all.
Thank you, Mendy. Thank you so much. And without further ado, I'm going to turn it back to Commissioner Rodriguez.
To the youngest one, yes, look at everyone here, and yes, picture yourself that you're going to be nose, okay? Sometimes when I used to be a teacher for 15 years, and I always say that adults, when the child is successful, we all want to take the photo to remember. If you become president, you become the borough commissioner, commissioner DOT, CEO of Bike New York, one of the NYPD here. Everyone likes to say, let me look at a photo when the young person was there, when I had that moment. But sometimes when the child fails, we the adults don't want to take responsibility. And we don't want for any of you to fail. And even when we say that we are helping the disadvantaged one, I remember those days that I had nothing, but I have a lot of value. So even at a moment when a family has struggled to buy what we need, always think about it that we have the most important is faith, and second, we have family value. So we are here again in a very symbolic day, giving you the bike. But just think about that 20 years from now, you're going to be donating a bike to another child that is one of you today. Thank you.
Thank you again, everyone. That wraps up the press conference. I would just ask for each of the community affairs officers to just, each of the bikes are labeled with the precinct. To the folks that are getting bicycles, please turn yourself over to the green tents over there to get your helmet fitted. And without further ado, I'd like to thank everybody. We want to get a nice photo. Again, thank you all. Thank you to Bike New York.